Guys, today is the last day you guys can enter to win this one of 200 made Subaru STi. Now, we are going to end the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend with a bang. You guys get double entries today as the last day of the giveaway. I just spit on the camera. We have brought back some of the most popularly requested designs we have ever released within the last few years of 5FreeSupply.com. We also are offering up to 50% off some of the other merch that we've got. Not to mention, we have mystery boxes where you get an insane deal, 3 different tiers. This car is a JDM Gem, one of 200 made hatchback. Well, actually only 100 were made in the hatchback, but this is an STi with an EJ20G closed deck. It's got BRZ Brimbos, super cool wheels, grippy tires, a Tomei exhaust manifold, and also a super rare Kakimoto exhaust. You guys head down to 53supply.com. This is your last chance. Today is your last chance to enter to win this car. We've got some amazing merch on the site. I know you're gonna love it because everybody else has. Happy shopping and good luck, guys. Let's hop on to the video. Okay, so I've cut the fenders and I need to take it for a test drive, but I also put a new blow-off valve on it and it sounds so good and I just need you guys to hear it. So let's take this little guy for a drive real quick because I need you guys to hear this. I think what I want to do, actually what I'm going to do, is cut even more of my cut parts up and include some of pieces of my STi in whatever the next drop we do. Obviously right now, this is the last day you can even win this STi, so it's not gonna be in this one, but whatever drop we do next at 5FreeSupply.com, I'm gonna give you guys some pieces of my STi. Medically, that sounds really bad. When you think about it in a car way, and you forget what STi actually means, then it's kinda cool. I don't have that kind of STi, I promise. So today, I honestly, guys, for me, it's Black Friday, and I wanna spend some time with my family, so I'm gonna make a cool video that's just short and to the point. We've got a couple big sponsors of the channel that have always been helping us out. One is MA Performance, and 2, we've been working with Forced Performance as well. And I've got a really cool, very unique turbo that we're gonna be installing on this STi. It's been stock turbo for its whole life, and you guys know I've wanted to do a bigger turbo for a long, long time. And now, we got it. Not only that though, one of the most efficient ways to spool and to make power and to keep an STi healthy is to get rid of the boxer rumble. The only reason why I always kept the boxer rumble on this car was because I knew I was never gonna make enough power for it to actually make a difference. So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be slow, I might as well sound good. It's still gonna be slow. It's still gonna sound pretty good. But we have MA Performance's equal length exhaust manifold for this. And I'm so stoked because I low-key, so whenever I got this car initially, I'm about to trip on my lift. This car came with an equal length header. And me being like 18 years old, I was like, now, gotta have the Subi rumble. Now that I'm 28 and I'm a dad, I don't care. This November marks 10 years of me having owned this car, and I've been going through and doing all the things that I've wanted to do for a long time. I always wanted to do a bigger turbo, but I never had the means to do it, especially when I was in college. Some of you guys might understand how that goes. Now we've got some super awesome sponsors of the channel, and I can do some of the things that I've always wanted to do. So this is gonna be a really unique setup that I am particularly excited to try out. The turbo is from Forced Performance, and I'm gonna start with that. So this, if you guys remember the turbo that I did on my Evo 3, it was essentially a stock housing, but they packed in a much more efficient compressor, exhaust, like all the innards were a better turbo. This is also what's cool about that. So we're not doing a rotated kit. I'm amped on this. This is essentially a stock size turbo, so it's not rotated, nothing like that. But what Forced Performance has done is they have packed an FP Blue into this. And the FP Blue is one of the coolest turbos you can do for this car. It's still internally gated, which helps save a lot of time, money, effort with things. It's a very simple setup. As you can see, it's high quality, it's super nice, but this is actually an FP Blue. I will go ahead and link this turbo in the description. This is so dope. It's small, it's ready to go out of the box, but it's gonna make a ton more power. The FP Blue is a lot of people's go-to builds to make about 400, 450 probably on the top end. And as you guys might know, if you don't, I do have a built engine in this car. So, I mean, it's just pistons, rods, but we'll see if the pistons and rods want to survive. But it's JE pistons and Manley Turbo Tough rods in this. And it was refreshed by all-wheel drive tuning. I think that was like 8 years ago. So we'll see how the engine lasts. I don't really care, just wanna have some fun. I'm super amped on this. This install should be pretty straightforward. You don't need any other external factors changed. It's amazing because I won't need a different style of exhaust manifold. I won't need to do any sort of rotation, no rotated kit. I get to keep my intercooler, same downpipe, same up pipe. I could, in theory, just put this turbo on right now, but we wanna go equal length because more powers. Sheesh. Super stoked on this turbo, by the way. I am really curious to see what it's gonna do because it really woke up my Evo 3. I have a feeling it's gonna do the same thing for this. Just as spooly as a stock turbo, but so much more flow. Oh my gosh! This is beautiful. This is the MA Performance equal length exhaust manifold. MA Performance has been a huge supporter of the channel, so I'm very grateful for them. And I'm super excited to see what we can do here. MA Performance is an OG in the DSM and Subaru world, so if you guys need anything, I'm sure they're having a crazy Cyber Monday sale right now. Go check them out. MA Performance has all your automotive needs from like big turbo kits to literally like spark plugs or belts. So check them out. Big thanks to MAP. This is some insane quality. You can see the collector is not, I mean, this is all hand TIG welded. And the welds are awesome. This is really pretty. So this is gonna work with the up pipe that I have right now. I'm pretty sure the up pipe that I currently have is the agency power one. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I've been under there. But speaking of, let's go ahead and get under the car and see what we've got currently and compare what we're gonna be doing. As you can see, the STi needs a bit of an update down here. She be looking a little nasty. I wanna say, dude, I mean, I gotta look for the video, but I wanna say I unboxed these and I was living at my dad's house. This is before I even went to college in Arkansas. I'm pretty sure this was either like after high school. I know I was working at Best Buy at the time. I used an entire paycheck. Like, no, I used like 2 weeks of paycheck for this manifold. Oh, that was brutal. Brutal times. But this is old, obviously. This is an agency power exhaust. It was one of the least expensive options I could get at the time, but I mean, obviously it's work. It's a pretty unequal length. There's some unequal lengths, like the one on this one, like this Tome is like pretty unequal length, but it's like, it still is unequal length. Like it's not as unequal as this. Like the problem with unequal length is these cylinders are going to end up running a lot hotter than these because this has a lot more room to flow, and it's just like you start considering back pressure, temperatures. It's really not a great design from factory, and it's why I guess they changed in the FA, but it works and it's fine. Obviously it's been okay, but typically this will lead to lower compression in these two cylinders versus these over a long period of time. So I'm gonna be getting rid of these. As you can tell, the way that it's kind of interesting how you get an unequal length or an equal length. So you have kind of a limited amount of space and wiggle room especially because of the oil filter here. What you'll have to do is either unequal length is on the left side, or I guess passenger side of the car in America, or you want to run it through the driver's side of this right here, and then it'll end up wrapping around, kind of like we've got over here. So we've got it laid out on the ground. So I wanted to take some stuff here, but you can see that the way that this one works is the filter will be right here. Typically what will happen is you'll have the runners go this way. That makes it unequal, but the equal length, because it'll be running around the filter, it'll be going this way around that filter. So I'm also super excited to, oh man, Jose's gonna have some work to do. I'm really excited to get my lip kit all the way around. I mean, I got like this Plasti Dip has been on there for 10 years, dude. I gotta get this off. I mean, it's bad over here, dude. People really think that this car is so clean, but really it was just an 18-year-old doing as much as he could to a car in a decently clean way. We'll be using this up pipe. I wanna say this up pipe is a Perrin. I'm pretty sure it's a Perrin. This car had a full Perrin exhaust once upon a time, but because I was a young little ricer, I wanted to take everything off and do a little single exit exhaust, which is worth it because I loved it. Look at all this, all the money I had in suspension pieces alone under this thing too, like these sway bars, bushings, these freaking end links right here. I mean, it's just so cool. Look at these freaking, also, look how sick this is with 295s all the way around. Oh my God, I remember spending so much money and almost dying because my stock, like these are ISCs, but the stock lower control arms were like falling apart. And then you can just see I just have so much, like these sway bars, and then these little lateral or whatever these links right here go to. I mean, oh my God, ISC, full suspension. This is so cool. I love looking at this car because I really did I did as much as I could, and I kind of respect myself for how I built this car back in the day, because like a lot of people will just take money and they'll just spend as much as they can on little dumb things. But what I did with this car is I saved up and I bought the right thing. So I was doing less mods, but the quality of the mods were better over time. And so I really liked that I was doing that back in the day. And that's kind of something that I kind of applaud myself for having, especially for having just no money back in the day. This is gonna go away. A lot of people actually started following me a long time ago because I made a video of unequal length sound versus equal length. I took a video before I changed the header and then after I changed the header as well. And that was like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I don't know, but it's a long time ago. And I still know some subscribers right now that started following me because of that. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make that again, do some revs, and then compare after it's done. But it should be a fairly simple swap. The turbos on these cars are moderately accessible. The only issue usually with stuff like this is it's been driven so much. I mean, this is a 15-year-old car now, and a lot of these mods are 8 to 10 years old. The engine has been out. The engine was out about 8 years ago, but I mean, that's still 8 years, 60,000 miles of driving. So I guess I'm gonna try and see if I can pop this motor. I'm just kidding. I don't wanna do that. It's a Subaru. You're kind of a masochist if you want high horsepower in a Subaru. It's kind of dumb, in my opinion. So what I'm going for is probably 400, maybe 450, kind of like this car right here. Like, just keep it OEM plus, make it sound good, feel good, run well. I say 400, like you're technically supposed to sleeve a Subaru at like 400, which is insane, absolutely wild. But we're just gonna see. I drive this car because this is kind of like my daily now. I drive this car kind of like a grandpa, so I don't think I'll have many issues, but I definitely need to get my DW fuel pump, which I think I have one lying around here, and then I need to get some injectors, which injectors will allow me to run E85. Ethanol has always been something I've wanted to run. It's way safer on Subarus to run ethanol if you can. So, and also I know Cobb has been working so hard because they've gotten hit by the EPA big time. They are making like a flex fuel kit that that is like actually EPA compliant. I think their EPA compliant car makes like, I can't remember if it's a secret or not, but it makes a lot of horsepower. I was talking to the marketing guy from there. He's a good friend of mine, and it's awesome. So I'm probably gonna end up doing some Cobb stuff. I have the Cobb access port still with my tunes that are like 9 years old or more, I don't know. I'm super amped to finally do the bigger turbo on this car, and I think the coolest thing about it is it's going to look stock. It's gonna look stock. Like, I can't believe that they packed some insane internals into this little tiny little turbo. This is freaking nuts. And I'm sure that this turbo will handle the flutter a little bit more, because you guys know We like the stu-tu-tu-doos. That sounded pretty cool. Like I said, guys, this is part 1 of this video. I'm gonna do the install next video and probably the first drive as well. Because it is Black Friday and I got family, it's Thanksgiving, I gotta do some more Thanksgivings. You know, when you get married and you have a kid, you got a bunch of Thanksgivings to do, so we gotta get back to it. Gotta get smoking on the Traeger. The next video, I will be installing this. You know, guys, I'm just gonna make it simple. Again, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes my daily advices are just too long, but like, dude, be thankful today that you got a roof over your head. You know, you guys have internet or you guys have a phone, either one of those. Like, at least you have access to information. You live in an information age where it's like if you're sick, you can look up your symptoms, and if you're not in a third world country where if you get a freaking cold, you die. There's so many things to be grateful for that you overlook just because you're so spoiled by just your everyday living. I mean, there's so many people out there that live so crazy successful and have insane lives, but like, you also have an insane life to somebody out there. There's somebody that is starving. There's somebody that can't feed their family today. There's people that don't have a roof over their heads. There's somebody that wished they even had a bicycle so they could ride to the next village over. So just be grateful. Just be grateful and stop complaining about your life. You have opportunities every day. Just because you don't seize them doesn't mean your life sucks. Again, this is the last day. You guys are gonna see the Subaru STi up for grabs, guys. Every dollar you spend gets you 2 entries, and it ends at midnight. I can't remember which midnight, but it's on the site if you want to read some more rules. But it's got brand new paint. It's got BRZ Brembos, really awesome, pretty rare wheels actually, some really nice tires, exhaust manifold, full exhaust, and it sounds amazing, looks amazing, and it's just a freaking time machine, man. You don't see many STIs like this, especially in the version 1. There's 200 made, just not a lot to be had. Have an amazing day, guys. Head to 5freesupply.com, grab your entries, and I'll see you guys next video for us actually installing Le Turbo. Have an amazing day. Hey, I got 2 videos for you guys, and it helps me a bunch if you continue to watch them. Also, just make sure I feel like I'm a Disney character right now. Also, just go to 5freesupply.com and browse around. I'm sure we got some good merch for you. You're gonna love it, I promise. Bye.